to get this Corki to the late game fairly freely, and then along the way try to shut down the Zeri. I think if D plus Kia win in the Zeri, it's already starting to get a little bit online here, and if she ends up getting a kill in that fight, for example, that is the end of the game basically for KT with this composition.
Don't do it, Lucid. Oh, he's going to go in and smite it away and actually hop away. And now, with Showmaker getting the first roam, we got a potential play as Dosic just going to have to throw that ult in and lead perfect, as now he has pulled the Rek'Sai under the turret, makes the play. And Kingen going in for the ult, knows he can't get out, as still does a nice amount of damage, but they're going to give that kill over to BDD, the Corki package here. So I think DK just have to give this one away.
Yeah, Kingen doesn't have teleport, so he's just going to push topside here. Perfect doesn't either, because he did commit to come down to the bottom. BDD coming over here, so Lucid's going to intercept.
Trying to make a play, but with BDD here, just getting in their face.
Good fight opportunity here. Pioshik's still down the flash, but his ult is back up. Tidal wave can be massive here. And D Plus is looking like they're just going to opt out of the Dragon. They got the turret.
You want to fight for this. And Kingen over the wall. Lucid nowhere near the Dragon, though. Kingen looking to push them away. And you know what? KT's going to respect it, as now Lucid over the wall. They get on top, aiming. The package goes in. And aiming slowed down, just going to flash away. And the Zeri Yuumi is so hard to lock down. As we can clearly see here, this fight very broken up at this point already. Kingen getting in onto death. And that's enough damage. Lucid with the assassination, taking out the enemy AD carry. But now it's Perfect's turn. But Zeri just has that extra amount of mobility to get over the wall and get away from the Cassante. It's currently a 4v4 still, but you see the health bars of DK a bit low, and now with Lucid out of the fight, it does look like they'll give this one up for now.
There's no way to contest you, even with BDD out of rockets, they won't fight.
Okay, well, Kingen wants to go in alone. He does have a Yuumi, and they're trying to take out Perfect. They're going to get the Cassante. And I guess the fight wasn't over.
And, you know, the BDD is out of rockets here, so he's not able to do a ton of damage. Traded back here, and the rockets he is firing are being blocked by Kelly.
And I'm not sure if DK really cared too much about it
Don't forget, Showmaker can disengage this as well. He's very low on mana, though, so he really has to be very careful.
All right, Tidal Wave a bit desperate. As now the kick comes in, but BDD is going to get away, and into the backline goes Perfect, but the zoning is in place for DK. Still, the smite is going to go the way of Pioshik as a very messy fight comes in. Lucid not really in position. Kingen going in as he's got a Zeri and a Yuumi with him to just push forward. And this is what we were talking about aiming. Just has all the room in the world to just sprint at the enemy team. KT, they get the Dragon, but they lose the fight in a huge way.
Yeah, very poor team fight for KT Rolster, getting completely outclassed by D Plus here. Showmaker never even needed to ult. Wasn't under too much threat. With his Leandra is able to burn through Perfect's health bar here. And D Plus are going to start the Baron as Kingen with his tremor sense. Yeah, he knows where you are. You cannot hide. The ground doesn't lie.
And he knows you're standing still. It's just, you're not going to get away from him for now. I mean, Kingen, yeah, he's just going to elect to ult in. I thought maybe he would just let him go because this will take a while.
TP to come and punish this. Meanwhile, Baron is taken, just to remind everyone.
Yeah, this is going to take a long time, okay? TP's coming in, and now maybe you want to give this one away. Both Showmaker and BDD TPing just to do much
on the Rek'Sai. And now they have Baron. They're getting a massive gold lead, 5,000 here already.
I mean, you just look at the support structure for the Zeri. I mean, he's got Michaelis, he's got Redemption, not to mention the Yuumi. He's got Ghost of Bloodthirster, you mentioned. Nobody will touch this Yuumi, or this, well, the Yuumi and the Zeri. And even if aiming went super far forward, made a big mistake, I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, you would have to burst him down so quickly. And I just don't think it's possible at this point in time. Not to mention everything else in the comp.
300 off this one Baron.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, Pioshik, this has been the game for him. Like, he's played relative
in these team fights either, just because the prio targets, the Zeri and the Azir, are so far away, and if King gets up by a package, he's like, whatever, I have Spirit.
He was not there, but he didn't necessarily know that. And he's just, again, he's Rek'Sai, so he can kind of just do that. And they're just playing with their food, trying to keep them away from the Baron as it's being two-man.
KT have to be super decisive here, and killing aiming probably isn't going to be the way.
Pioshik is going to get in on time. It is incredibly low. They can't quite see it, but now they are going to, as Lucid in the front line taking a bunch of damage, and Lucid has to flash away. Meanwhile, Showmaker pretty low himself as Kingen getting into the backline against 4 people. He will eventually go down, but so will Perfect. So the tanks on both sides, the top laners do go down in the tree. This time we got 4 members. Still top laners are dead, but teleport's available for both. And the
Rocket's
focus coming
connecting.
in. Yeah, aiming's got to be careful. He's just going to back out of this one. As Kingen is TPing in and gets bubbled, that's not necessarily the angle we were looking for. Thank you for the leash. Maybe it's a flip as the kick comes in, but the damage isn't there.
One health.
And Pilchik gets in, and he takes it away. There is the sweep, and aiming is still alive. He is flashing on the enemy team, looking for the kills. The redemption comes forward. And how many kills can he get is really the question. He picks up 2 as the knockup comes in for Perfect. Maybe able to take out the Seri. Can he get the job done? Another knockup for Perfect, but it's not quite enough. As Deft and Beryl, they stay alive just to keep the hopes of KT here after taking
Bears.
Yeah. So now, when aiming presses ult, he's going to sprint at them. Very, very fast. They have 3.
Despite the Baron, as you can see, BDD is trying to get that top turret bounty gold.
Uh-oh.
Perfect.
Aiming going on in. The rest of the team right there for the side of KT. But again, he's basically a juggernaut. I mean, there's not a small amount of damage that you need to put into aiming, and you need to lock him down. Cullen comes through, and it barely does anything, as now ult into Lucid. Or actually, that was Kingen.
Yeah.
He's just in the front line like, okay, I'll just tank this up.
Jungle cosplay, man, it keeps happening. He doesn't care. And, I mean, BDD comes back, doesn't get the top turret here, but how much can he actually get done with this poke? He's out of rockets already.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose this inhib regardless.
Inhib will go down, for sure. The question is more on how much are they going to lose as Lucid goes in, messes it up, and now we have a play onto the Zeri, but again, the Cassante lockdown is not enough, and he's just going to sprint into 5 people, takes out Deft, and that might just be enough. The kick is huge as Lucid will make up for the former play, and that should be the game. Beryl all alone, and is basically just penta fodder for aiming. Let's see if he does give it over. That's really the only question at this point. DK waiting on the wave to come in, but this game number 1, have no mistake, it will go the way of DK as they start off the series very, very strong. They're going to try to give this penta over to aiming. Can he get it down as a bubble?
Beryl says no. Beryl says no. Look at aiming space on the player cam as well. They want it so badly, they will take the Nexus instead. I think a worthy consolation prize is D+. Start the series off with a bang.